Hey everyone! Welcome back to your go-to channel for rare and valuable coins. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating history, key details, and most importantly, the current value of the 1965 US quarter dollar. The year 1965 was a big turning point in US coinage history.
Why?
Because it marked the end of silver quarters and the beginning of copper-nickel-clad quarters. Before 1965, Washington quarters were made of plus 90% silver, but due to a shortage of silver, the U.S. Mint decided to switch to a new metal composition. The 1965 quarter was the first year of this change, making it a historically significant coin. So, if you have a 1965 quarter, you might be wondering, does it have any value beyond 25 cents? Well, that depends on a few key factors. Let's talk about the features of the 1965 quarter. Features the portrait of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan in 1932. The word "Liberty" appears above his head, and the phrase "In God We Trust" is to the left. The date 1965 is below. Shows a majestic bald eagle with wings spread wide, holding a bundle of arrows and olive branches, symbolizing strength and peace. The words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum are at the top, while quarter dollar is written at the bottom. Unlike earlier quarters, this coin is made of copper-nickel clad with a pure copper core. That means NO silver. If you check the edges of a 1965 quarter, you'll see a copper-colored stripe. This is one way to quickly identify a clad quarter versus a silver one. So let's talk about what you're really here for, the value of a 1965 quarter in circulated condition. Common circulated 1965 quarters, those found in pocket change, are not worth more than face value, just 25 cents. If the coin is in better condition, extremely fine to AU grade, it might be worth 30 cents to $1.50, mint state, MS 60 to MS 65. Uncirculated 1965 quarter can range from $5 to $20 depending on the grade. But wait, there are some rare error coins that are worth big money. Now, if you're lucky enough to find one of these rare 1965 quarters, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Let's check out the most valuable error coins. 1965 silver quarter error. Some 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964. These can sell for $5,000 to $10,000 at auction. To check, weigh your coin. If it's 6.25 grams instead of 5.67 grams, it could be silver. Some 1,965 quarters have noticeable doubling on the text or design. These can be worth $100 to $500, depending on the severity. Off-center strikes. If the design is misaligned, values range from $50 to $300. Missing clad layer. If a 1965 quarter appears completely copper-colored on one side, it could be missing its nickel layer and might fetch $200 or more. Imagine finding one of these rare errors in your pocket change. What a lucky day that would be. So, now you know everything about the 1965 US quarter dollar. Its history, key features, circulated value, and rare errors that could make it a jackpot coin. Do you have a 1965 quarter? If so, grab a magnifying glass and check for errors. Let me know in the comments below if you found any interesting coins. Today, we're taking a closer look at the 1977 United States quarter dollar coin. Could this coin be worth more than just 25 cents? Let's find out. The 1977 quarter is part of the Washington Quarter series, first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. The design we see on the 1977 quarter had already been in use for decades, but does that mean these coins are common and worthless? Not necessarily. The 1977 quarter was struck in copper-nickel clad composition, as the U.S. Mint stopped using silver in quarters after 1964. However, some rare error coins can fetch higher prices. Let's break down the design of the 1977 quarter. A portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. The word "Liberty" at the top, the year 1977 at the bottom, the phrase "In God We Trust" on the left, a majestic bald eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows. United States of America at the top, E Pluribus Unum, Latin for out of many one, the denomination quarter dollar at the bottom. Now, let's talk numbers. The U.S. Mint produced hundreds of millions of these quarters in 1977. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, 468,556,000. Denver Mint, D mint mark, 256,524,978. San Francisco Mint, S mint mark, proofs only, 3,251,152. With such high mintage, most 1977 quarters are still common in circulation today. However, some rare error coins and high-grade uncirculated versions are worth much more. So, how much is a 1977 quarter worth today? Let's break it down. Circulated condition, worn coins, still worth 25 cents, face value, uncirculated, mint condition, MS60 plus around $1, $5 high, grade uncirculated, MS65 plus around $15, $25 proof, S-mint mark, deep cameo around $5 to $10, but wait. If you find a rare error coin, it could be worth $100 or more. Now, this is where things get really exciting. Some 1977 quarters have rare minting errors that make them worth big money. A misaligned design can be worth $50 to $150. A doubling effect, especially on letters, could be worth $50 to $300. If a piece of the coin is missing due to a minting mistake, it could be worth $30 to $100. If a 1977 quarter was mistakenly struck on a nickel or dime planchet, it could fetch hundreds of dollars. Always check your change. Who knows? You might have a valuable error coin sitting in your pocket right now. So, is the 1977 quarter worth keeping? If it's heavily circulated, it's just worth face value, 25 cents. If it's uncirculated or has an error, it could be worth a few dollars to hundreds. If you think you have a valuable quarter, get it graded by PCGS or NGC to maximize its worth. Today, we're diving deep into the history and circulated value of the 1983 USA quarter dollar, a coin that might just be worth more than its face value. So, is this coin valuable? Let's find out. The 1983 USA quarter features the classic design of the Washington quarter, which has been in circulation since 1932. This design was created by John Flanagan to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Here are some key details of the 1983 Washington quarter. It features a portrait of George Washington, with the word Liberty above his head and the year 1983 at the bottom. You'll also see "In God We Trust" on the left side. The reverse side features a majestic bald eagle with outstretched wings, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath it. Above, you'll see United States of America and the phrase E pluribus unum, Latin for, out of many, one. P for Philadelphia, D for Denver. No mint mark. That means it was struck in Philadelphia. But here's something interesting. There were no official mint sets produced in 1982 and 1983. This makes well-preserved 1983 quarters harder to find compared to other years. Now, let's talk about the metal composition. The 1983 quarter is not silver. It's made of outer layer 75% copper, 25% nickel core, 100% copper, total weight 5.67 grams. This is the same clad composition used for quarters since 1965, replacing the previous 90% silver coins. If your 1983 quarter looks silver-colored, it's just because of its nickel coating. Now, let's get to the exciting part, the value. If you've got a 1983 quarter in circulated condition, here's what it's worth today. Yes, you heard that right. Some 1983 quarters in mint state or with errors can fetch a four-figure price at auctions. Now, collectors love error coins. If you have a 1983 quarter with these errors, it might be worth big money. Look for doubling on the words United States of America or E pluribus unum, value $50 to $300 plus depending on grade. If your coin looks misaligned, it could be an error. If your 1983 quarter appears proof-like and has no mint mark, check with an expert. Value varies based on rarity, so should you keep or sell your 1983 quarter? Here's my advice. If it's in circulated condition, it's worth holding on to, but don't expect big profits. If it's in uncirculated condition, shiny, no wear, consider grading it. It might be worth $50 or more. If you find an error coin, definitely get it checked. Error collectors are willing to pay a premium for these. Here's a fun fact. Because the U.S. Mint didn't release mint sets in 1982 and 1983, finding well-preserved quarters from these years is difficult. That's why higher-grade 1983 quarters are worth more. The 1983 Washington quarter is part of the long-running Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. This coin series replaced the Standing Liberty quarter and became the standard U.S. 25-cent coin. In 1931, the U.S. Treasury decided to create a commemorative coin featuring George Washington. Initially, this was meant to be a one-year commemorative release, but it became a permanent part of U.S. currency. John Flanagan, a sculptor, was chosen to design the coin. His design featured a left-facing portrait of George Washington on the obverse and a majestic bald eagle with outstretched wings on the reverse. The first Washington quarters were struck in 90% silver and 10% copper from 1932 to 1964. However, in 1965, due to rising silver prices, the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-nickel clad composition, which is still used today. No official mint sets in 1982 and 1983. One of the most unique aspects of the 1983 quarter is that the U.S. Mint did not produce official mint sets in 1982 or 1983. This was due to budget cuts and changes in production priorities. As a result, finding high-quality uncirculated 1983 quarters is difficult, making them more valuable to collectors than quarters from surrounding years. Collectors often search through bankrolls or purchase sealed Federal Reserve bags from 1983 to find high-grade coins. Even circulated 1983 quarters can carry a higher-than-face value premium because of their relative scarcity in better conditions. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced regular circulation coins, while the San Francisco Mint struck proof coins for collectors. Most 1983 quarters in circulation come from the Philadelphia or Denver mints, and uncirculated examples can be valuable. Features George Washington's profile with "Liberty" above his head and "In God We Trust" to the left. The year 1983 is below the portrait. Shows a bald eagle with wings spread, clutching arrows and an olive branch. The words "United States of America" and "E Pluribus Unum" appear at the top. Copper-nickel clad, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Weight 5.67 grams. The 1983 Washington quarter was widely used in everyday transactions, including vending machines, parking meters, payphones, back when they were common. Public transportation fares. Because of its heavy circulation, many 1983 quarters today show a lot of wear, making high-grade examples rarer and more desirable to collectors. Due to the absence of mint sets in 1982 and 1983, collectors often pay extra for well-preserved 1983 quarters. Uncirculated and high-grade mint state (MS) coins can sell for $50 or more. The 1983 Washington quarter is an interesting and valuable coin due to its history, circulation rarity, and lack of official mint sets. If you have one in good condition, it might be worth more than just 25 cents. The 1984 United States quarter dollar is part of the famous Washington quarter series, first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan, this quarter has remained a staple of U.S. currency for decades. Features the classic portrait of George Washington inscriptions, "Liberty, In God We Trust," and the year 1984, the majestic American bald eagle with wings spread. The inscriptions, "United States of America," "E Pluribus Unum," and "Quarter Dollar." Now, let's talk about how many were made and why that matters. In 1984, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Washington quarters, which means they are quite common in circulation. However, certain factors like mint marks and condition affect their value. Here's the mintage breakdown. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, 676,545,000 coins. Denver Mint, D mint mark, 546, 483, 064 coins. San Francisco Mint, S mint mark, proof coins, 3, 065, 110 coins. The proof coins from San Francisco were specially made for collectors and have a shinier, more detailed appearance. So, how much is a circulated 1984 quarter dollar worth today? Let's break it down. Most 1984 quarters are worth only 25 cents because they were made in huge numbers. However, if the coin is in better condition, less wear and tear, it might be worth 50 cents to $1 to collectors. But wait. There's a chance your 1984 quarter could be worth even more if it has an error. Some quarters show doubling on the word "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." These can be worth $50 to $500 plus. If the design is shifted from the center, it can be worth $20 to $150 plus, depending on how extreme the error is. If part of the coin is missing due to a miscut, it can be worth $10 to $50. If a quarter appears to be a solid copper color, missing the nickel coating, it can be worth $50 to $200. Always check your coins carefully. You might have a hidden gem. If your 1984 quarter is heavily worn, it's best to spend it. But if it has a high grade or an error, it might be worth keeping or selling to a collector. eBay, heritage auctions, and local coin shops, coin shows, and collector groups. Online marketplaces like Etsy for error coins. Always check completed listings on eBay to see what similar coins actually sold for. So, is your 1984 USA quarter dollar just pocket change, or is it a valuable collectible? Thinking Face, let me know in the comments below if you have one and what condition it's in. Check for high-grade coins, look out for rare errors, sell wisely if you have a valuable one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin-related content, and share this with fellow collectors. See you in the next video.